Hello out there in 12-string land. Today I just want to kind of share something with you. This is just one of the things I use a lot on 12-string are just various shapes. I don't tend to analyze them a whole lot. If I did analyze them in music theory, it creates kind of a series of modes in the key of C. You've got, depending on where you create your root tonality around them. Today I'm going to be dealing with G but the scales, the notes of the scale I'll be playing are generally in the key of C. So that would make that, we'd be in like a Mixolydian mode. So there would be a flatted seventh in there, and it would be an F natural instead of an F sharp. But depending on, you can use these shapes in different ways, just depending on whatever tonality you set in the ear of the listener first, and then it takes on different personalities from there. But it's a really easy thing to do, especially if you're a finger-picking guitarist. One of the fun things about 12-string is that you can play these sort of ambiguous chords that don't necessarily have a really strongly defined tonal center, and they can become very melodic, and you can create some textures and some sounds that really tweak your listeners' ears. They're like, wow, that's really cool. What chord is that you're playing? And it's mainly a shape. And if you analyze it, it's more of a tonal cluster that's actually based on a diatonic key. And so instead of just being a triad chord like you would normally tend to play if you're playing your standard chord grips like G, D, or A, or whatever. And so basically what I'm going to start you with is just take your two middle fingers like you're doing your Spock thing, right? Your two middle fingers. And so you're going to go here to the G. Oh, and for those of you watching today, if you're trying to play along with some of this, this 12-string is in standard tuning today. So it's tuned up to a full E. A lot of times I tune my 12 strings down a half step or a whole step. For this lesson today, it's in standard tuning, concert pitch. So I'm going to be playing a G on the 3rd fret, and I'm going to use my 2nd finger. And then I'm going to take my 3rd finger, and I'm going to come down here and play a D that's here on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And so those two notes, I'm playing a G and a D. Now, if you're playing a full G chord in this shape, some people call this a G5 because I'm doubling up the 5th on that D. That's a great resonant chord you play in a lot of country songs, rock songs. What I'm doing is I'm just playing two notes of it. Now what I'm going to do with my right hand, my picking hand, is I'm just going to do just a little cross picking pattern, which is like thumb, middle, thumb, index. And I can pick any 4 strings. My thumb is going back between the 6th string and the 4th string, and I'm just alternating my fingers. Now the last note I'm playing is the D that I'm holding with this 3rd finger. I'm not playing the bottom open string, and I'm usually playing the 3rd string open. I can get going pretty fast with that. So as I was trying to explore around to do some melodic kind of things from this position, I discovered you can do like some really cool things. Like if I just go from here and I drop down to this F, which would be, I'm just keeping the same fingering, but I'm just going down to the 1st string. I have to be careful not to hit the tuner down here with the top of my knuckle on my hand here. Sometimes I've done that and had it go out of tune, which is unfortunate. But if I'm getting a pattern going like that, I go. Works really good, and you do this cool little, you could use it for the intro for a song or something. Well, let's just take this shape and just explore around and just see where it fits. There's all kinds of cool little things you can do, and you'll have fun exploring. So I know it fits on the 1st fret. Let's try the 2nd fret. So avoid the 2nd fret. So 1st, 3rd, let's try the 4th. Oh, that's not good, so let's try one more, 5th. That's kind of interesting. It's ambiguous. The notes I'm actually picking there are an A, an E, a G, and a D. So it's really like an A7 suspended 4th. So So it's got this kind of cool, ambiguous kind of flavor to it. Let's try the 6th fret. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That would, you're implying a B flat 6 with this one. So if somebody's playing a standard B flat and you play this against them, you make an almost banjo-like kind of sound against that with that open G string that's ringing. I can go up one more, it works on the 7th. You could use this for a B minor 6th. You could use this against a G. What else can you use this with? Those are the main ones I would think of. One more up to the 8th fret. There's a C with an add 9. 9th doesn't work, and you hear some buzzing on my 12 string. It's February and March in Oklahoma, and it gets really dry here in the wintertime. And even though I try to keep my guitars humidified, the tops of them does kind of drop a little bit and flattens out, and I get a little bit of buzz in the winter months. When I used to perform a lot actively, I used to change out my saddles. I had a winter saddle and a summer saddle. When I lived in Alaska, it was the same kind of thing. In certain climates, the top will rise and will swell and flatten out a little bit. The crowning of the top gets affected by the weather. So this is just that time of year. So when I get up in these upper registers, because my action is so low, you'll hear a little bit of that. But anyway, 10th fret, let's go back, 10th fret, that same shape. There's a D suspended 4th. I'm playing a D, an A, a G, and a D. There's no 3rd in there. You could actually use that against a D minor chord as well. The 11th, it doesn't work. But the 12th, and you can use that against an E minor or a C major 7th maybe. And then I'm back at the 13th, which now I'm back where the same thing as the F. And if I go all the way up to the 15th, there's my G, so I've gone a whole octave. Now let's put this together. I can just explore around, starting on G. C, B minor, so you could just move this all over the place and play around with it. Now every now and again, I did it by accident because I just, it's an effect I like to use a lot. When I'm doing the finger picking pattern with this hand, every now and again I will alternate and hit the bottom open string, the open E. Pretty cool. Very simple to do. So I'll go ahead and stop here. Play around with those shapes. Just those 2 fingers. Cross-picking pattern with the thumb and the 2 fingers that you find all the Leo Kottke, John Fay type stuff. A lot of fun to do. Get out there and explore. Find something that sounds cool. Write some songs. Dress up your music and amaze all your friends, which is why we play guitar to begin with, right? Thanks for watching. This is Greg West with 12 String Stuff signing off.